So I thought I should just share with you some of the bits that really wind me up. It costs a fortune just to open the front door. Just the heat, the light, the security, the maintenance. Did you know you have to have some kind of insurance about pigeons? I didn't know that before we started.
I am what many people would consider to be a successful artist. I didn't have a pension, but I had loads of plastic awards on my wall. Over 100 artists shared their earnings with me via email. The average for those 100 artists was 13 grand a year. And those artists were all mid-career like me. But this might be why so many of my favourite artists disappeared in their 30s, especially women.
If you'd looked at arts organisations funded by the Arts Council 10, 20 years ago, the average would have been around 50% probably was Arts Council funding. And that isn't the case anymore. And saying, that's how it is, I may not like it, it may be a good or a bad thing, but that's how it is, that's what we have to deal with. So let's get real and be imaginative and come up with strategies.
I think artists could understand better what grants for the arts can actually fund. I think a lot of artists are scared to ask for what they need. You don't have to pretend you're doing lots of education for people that are, marginalised. You don't have to do that, and that's a common misconception. I don't think it's hard to make money. I think it's hard to get your head around the fact that that's actually your job. You're not going to get given it anymore, and I think that that's a hard thing for artists to get their head around.
Every member of every arts board has a responsibility to fundraise for that organisation. If you want public funding these days, with the pressure on public funding, you need to be able to articulate the benefits. And a lot of artists don't like doing that because they say, this is my work and this is how I communicate. I don't want to talk about the intrinsic benefits of art, the benefits of society, education, the economy. But do you know something? We have to.
Bring money and enterprise into the heart of what you do. Link it directly to the vision. Too often, money is left to the ops manager and the finance manager to worry about while the creatives get on with the fun stuff. Solving the money problem is everybody's problem.
At one level, you had the Arts Council, and then you had arts organisations, and then you had individual artists. And there's nothing more powerful than having individual artists in those sorts of debates. And too often you have conversations about the funding of the arts without any actual artists present. So that was kind of really, really good.
So rather than us pre-setting the agenda, we asked the people in the room what are the issues that they want to address.
There's this wonderful queue of people with their questions, and people, immediately entered into this great debate.
If the art is not commercially viable, should it exist?
And the deal is, if you've asked the question, you have to be there and you have to be part of that conversation.
Immediately people say, no, I want to discuss this and I want to discuss this, and should we just let the market take over, or have we got too many artists? Why do we invest public money at all in the arts? And if we didn't, what would happen? And I just love the fact that that led into this whole thing about the value of arts. And what we mean by quality arts.
There was this title called Business is Boring, and that really struck me because there were no little post-it notes on there, and it animated everyone. What do I concentrate on? Do I concentrate on the art or the business and doing the tax return? Well, the art is the business.
In a way, people then, by the end of the day, were like, we're not sure the money is the biggest problem.
Yeah.
So yeah, you have to write your business plan. Yes, you have to do your spreadsheets and your funding applications. But actually, the thing that makes the difference is relationships, partnerships, and people.
We will have good funding for arts and culture in this country if we value it. You're in this room because you do value it, and many of you are practitioners. But how many others value it? If we value arts and culture more, we'll have more revenue streams. So that's a task for all of us.